Hello friends and welcome back to day 36 of our Jewel Cichlid Fry Journey. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and today is extra special because we are starting to see some real transformation. Our fry are no longer just tiny fish, they are becoming miniature jewels. And here's a brief recap of day 35. We saw that the fry were becoming noticeably stronger in the sense their feeding habits now were bit refined, in the sense rather than waiting for the food to come near them, they were going and grabbing the food. You also had noticeable shoaling, in the sense forming small groups so that they can escape predators. And then we also saw some signs of early territorial behavior. Now, that was all for day 35. What do we see on day 36? So, day 36 brings us various growth milestones. If you see the fry compared to the previous week, well, they are now almost 1 centimeter more than what they were last week, which means that they are growing quite well, and that is all down to their feeding behavior and the healthy appetite. Remember that these fry are voracious eaters, and therefore you will see that still there are some differences in size. You'll see some of them are quite small, whereas others have in a way increased in size. So that is also down to personality. Some of them are bold, and hence the bold ones will in a way go out and grab the best bite, whereas the other ones who are shy will wait for things to come down and then settle. And therefore we see that the fins also are more developed, and this in a way is giving them that classic jewel outline. The body shape is slimming out, and you now have a kind of a proper look, the look of a juvenile jewel. When you look at the parents' behavior, we see that the parents are still on guard, but the fry are spending longer stretches exploring independently. So therefore, if you notice, you can see subtle differences in the parents' behavior from last week. They are more independent now, in the sense they are kind of only there to intervene in case of certain emergencies. Now, can you spot the differences in their body shape compared to just a week ago? If you do let us know in the comments. So, when we look at color development, there's subtle shimmering that can be seen around the fry. So they haven't got any shades of red, blue or green iridescent at the moment, but there are signs that they are getting these shades, and therefore not all fry show color equally. Some are brighter, and these probably would be the more dominant males or the stronger fry. So early color differences also tend to signal future hierarchy. So color also is a big indicator. It also shows the health of the fish. So generally the ones that are brightly colored usually seem to be the more healthy ones. And also it is an indication of how well they have been feeding. So the ones that are feeding well will have a brighter color because they are the ones who are getting the most nutrients. So in the wild we see that jewel cichlids use these flashes of color during mating displays and also during territory defense. So what we are seeing here is the very first glimpse of their adult beauty. It's like watching little gems come to life. Now when you look at behavioral changes, you see that fry no longer swim in a tight school. They are beginning to also explore individually. And also at this time, you will also see mini territorial spats. So gentle nudges, short chases. Now these are also in a way a kind of a practice for what they will experience in the wild. In the wild also, you will have them kind of have to deal with all these kinds of situations where they'll have to establish a territory and defend it. So these things what they are experiencing here in the aquarium are just kind of practice sessions for the wild. At the same time, we see that they still rely on group safety, but independence is growing. So when there's danger, they'll group together in the form of a shoal or a small group, but when there's no danger, then they'll again begin to explore independently. So as you've already mentioned, the parents' role has changed. They are more distant now. They're just there in case of any danger or emergency. So do you think the parents will step back completely in the coming days, or will they still continue to be there caring for the fry for a few days more? So drop in your opinions in the comments as well. So when it comes to feeding, we see that currently they are capable of having crushed flakes or even live baby brine shrimp or even crushed pellets. So we feed them a kind of a combination of pellets as well as finely crushed pellets, and we see that that is in a way also helping their growth. Small frequent meals are important because they have a small stomach, so they can't eat a lot at once, and therefore frequent meals distributed in various parts of the tanks is essential for faster growth. Similarly, clean water management is also very important because this extra bio load from the fry means we need to monitor the water carefully. As you can notice, we are due for a water change in the next 2 days. Now, here's a reminder to all hobbyists. Don't overfeed because it can cloud the water and also stunt the fry growth. So what can we expect in the coming week? We can see clearer adult coloration. You'll find stronger social hierarchies and a possible separation of the fry growing faster. So you'll see the fry that are growing faster, they'll in a way separate from the ones that are growing slowly. So you'll see a kind of a hierarchy forming in the aquarium as well. Tomorrow we'll see whether their independence continues, and I'll share tips on when it might be safe to move the fry into grow out tanks. So that wraps up the update for day 36. We've seen amazing progress so far. These little ones are truly becoming mini juveniles. So if you've enjoyed today's update, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and ring the bell so that you don't miss the update of day 37. So thank you all for joining, and let's keep growing together.